Hey, this is Old Gaming Guru. I'm going to be doing a series here on POE 2, which has just fixed some of the currency issues it has after its launch last week. And I just want to go ahead and give you guys my thoughts on it. And, is this game similar to POE 1, different? I mean, what are the things that I'm seeing about the game that I like and don't like? So you can decide if you want to spend money on it or even play it. So it's early access mode right now. It's $30 to get the game if you want to go ahead and purchase it and play early access, which means you're a glorified beta tester. You can, of course, wait for the free version to drop. I don't think there's a release date on that yet. But what do I think so far of the game before I create a character and show you what the game's all about? I'm going to create a new one here. It is slower paced. It's more thoughtful than POE 1. It's not zoom, zoom, zoom. You do need, and that depends too on the character you're playing, is you really need to pay really close attention to the bosses and boss mechanics, and even the white mobs can pose a challenge if you're playing a character that doesn't have the right defenses and resistances and everything set up, and it's a little bit harder to set up your resistances than it was in POE 1. So it's more thoughtful, it's slower paced, the bosses are more Souls-like, and that's a very common comment in the threads, but they're also too really fun. I find my adrenaline shooting through the roof every time I fought a boss, so that's a good thing. The world itself, I'm not at maps yet, and the skill system. So what excites me about PoE, which gets me to play the campaign over and over and over again, is I like to see a lot of progress coming from my characters. This is going to move a bit slower in that regard, and you do level pretty quick as long as you can kill stuff fast, but it's just a different game, different feel, much darker, and I'm going to let you now see for yourself. So that's my thoughts right now. So if you like POE 1, don't go into POE 2 expecting it to be POE 1. It's not. It's everything that Chris and the GGG team have been trying to implement in POE 1, which we've all pushed back against. So that being said, let's jump in. Okay, so we're going to create a character, and I want to show you this because there's going to be a really important tip here in a couple of seconds. And we're going to create a new character. And let's go standard. There's no way I'd go hardcore until I play this game some more. And this time I'm going to go with one of my favorites.
Ranger! An outcast, lurking among the shadows of the trees like an animal. You murdered one of my soldiers in the name of a filthy thief.
Alright, boom. So you're the only one that escapes. I like this scene. And off we go. Okay, the story is a little bit more developed than POE 1. I think you're going to like it. And the cutscenes are a little bit longer, better graphically, longer cutscenes. Alright, so now we're in world. And you're going to be greeted with a very familiar scene. A half-dead guy lying on a beach where you're knocked out. And there we go. Now you can, if you want to play with keyboard, you can. Or you can go mouse. I'm going mouse.
It'll take a better snare than that to catch me.
Okay. You can see already the graphics much better.
I'm glad to see another living soul. The miller went off to warn Clearfell about a strange sickness plaguing our men. I was fixed now. All those who drowned in the flooding, suddenly they ain't so damn would appreciate
Say
it.
more. I could swear she actually stabs him first, the wounded guy first. Alright, we get our first weapon. Okay, so
This is like
really
the
quick.
sickness I've ever seen.
Characters.
Let's track down this.
Character screen is much more detailed and much more useful than what we've got. So you can see here, you can see everything at a glance. One screen, like it. Okay. Now your resistances and everything, so it's got the same base game look and feel. So that's good. Okay. All right, now we see we've got a weapon, and this is similar. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up. Okay. There's our first enemy.
I shall overcome.
All right, decent damage, standard attack. One thing you will note, the game is not going to give you as much loot, and you have to use and create your gear accordingly. They did change the drop rate on crafting materials, so they're higher, so that's good. Line of sight in this game, you can't hit through things. And I don't see a lot of skills that very effectively hit through things. Spacebar is always to close. And here's your tip. Whatever you do, do not kill every monster on the screen in this first area. We got to kill these guys. It's not hard to do, but if you do kill them all, you may not be able to unlock a certain gate. So I'm going to leave this guy here. If I can, I can't. Okay, so nothing fancy here so far. But find a mob you can leave by itself. By the way, new feature added, dodge roll, which has also had a lot of controversy. Okay, we got another large chest. We got to explore that one. Okay, get my first skill. All right, here's what's different. Instead of putting it in your weapon, you go over here and you put it in your skills. All right, and then you add gems to then level this up. And also you get gems that will level your skills up so they do more damage. Okay, so we got lightning arrow. Okay, which is going to use mana. Mana and life are all the same. Potions are different. You only get 2 potions. I really like this system, and then you get what's called charms, and they have effects on hit. So if you get hit then with like a certain elemental type, then it will like give you more resistance. So your life flasks and your mana flasks are very important, so make sure you're upgrading them constantly. All right. Make sure that you use orbs on them. Okay, so there's this wall. Okay, so right click to use your new skill. All right, that worked.
Unnatural.
For some reason on my marksman, I could not get the skill to fire, and it would not open that red gate. So we are progressing now. All right, so once again, you're going to find items. You only get 2 potions. You get charms to make up for that. You still have all the same orbs pretty much, and they're going to drop hopefully at a higher rate. To do crafting, crafting is a key part. So if you craft in POE 1, POE 2 you absolutely have to if you want to survive. Your gear has got to get leveled up. And then your skills, the G key, are all right here. They don't get socketed into your weapons. They get in your armor. They get socketed over here, and you will find gems to actually level those up. All right. Now, anytime you see this is another new mechanic, these here fill up your health and mana potions, or should. And if you die, that's where you're going to return to. And anytime you see one of those, that's probably a boss, or a boss is coming up soon.
Storming arrow.
Okay. All right, decent AoE. All right. Basic tutorial. And you can see here, you get a lot more use. A lot more uses out of your potions. And once you actually apply crafting to them, you'll get even more. Okay, so
Adapt and survive.
Dodge roll. Okay. Those crabs are miserable when you're first starting off. Kill them as quickly
I'm
as
out of
possible.
mana.
Okay. Yeah, see how much damage they do? Alright, so I get my first skill point. Okay, another major difference. Huge tree. This tree is massive. So expect to spend a lot of time taking a look at this tree and checking out exactly what you should be doing. Alright, so that's my starting point. The other starting points for their classes are there. Alright, so which should I take first? I'm going to go with damage. Alright, let's see if I got anything I need to put on. I don't. Oh, I hit the map key, sorry. Alright. Okay, I'm liking lightning arrow. It's a mana hog, but okay. Something else to kill here. By the way, as you first start off, clear your maps. It takes a while, but you will find lots of little hidden treasures. There we go. Okay, so potions are filled. First boss. Alright, I'm gonna kite this guy from range. You'll see why. Okay, dodge roll. Okay, and this is one of the key things of...
Nowhere to run.
You really got to time your dodge rolls well. I should have left my... Because they will track you. God bless.
Thunderous shot.
Just as you think. Dodged. Because the boss is tracking you. He's always good to be. He's much harder. These bosses are much harder to avoid their attacks other than just dodging. There is no phasing during dodging, so you cannot dodge through monsters right now. That's a huge bone of contention on the sites. So that pretty much is it. So it's going to be rinse and repeat. Level your skills. Make sure your potions are magically enhanced, and then try and get better gear. Nothing different. Like I said, it's just a little bit slower pace. And you are benefited from clearing maps instead of just blazing through them, because you will find important loot. So you probably want to try and clear maps whenever you can. If you don't want to, you know, you're missing out some stuff, and I'm sure you'll replace it later. But in the early game, it's more important that you get as much gear as possible. And that's it for this episode. There's my first impressions. Overall, do I like it? Yeah, I can tell you it's going to be a little bit difficult to play this campaign over and over and over again. but maybe that's because I've played the main campaign so many times that I can't even possibly count. Anyways, it's worthwhile, definitely worth it for free. If you like Souls type games, you'll really like this. It really is a masterpiece, and hopefully, you know,
This place
GG's record
reeks
is
of desperation.
they release stuff
Best be careful who I trust.
and then they improve it constantly over time. I think this is a good step in the right direction and is worth your time. Old GG out.